Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another anime review. And today I'll be sharing my thoughts on episode 2 of the Shenmue anime series, which I almost forgot this episode released because, I was just putzing around and I saw a promo for episode 3 on YouTube. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to watch episode 2 because I really did enjoy the first episode. And I got a lot of feedback on that video from people saying, first of all, they're accelerating the anime with the story because it's only 13 episodes, and from what I read, it's going to adapt the first game, and there's 3 games. So I got comments saying that, they're going pretty fast with the story. And then I also got some comments about, like, a forklift, which I'm guessing is a forklift minigame of some sort. I've never played the games. I'm just watching the anime because, the first episode was pretty cool, and, watching the trailer a few months ago looks pretty badass. Animation quality is very high. And something I'm interested in. But, someone was leaving comments about the forklifts, and in the fucking opening, there's like a bunch of forklifts. So is there a forklift minigame? Is that part of the plot? I mean, what's the deal with that? And also, there's a lot of fan service to Sega, which Sega is involved in the production of this. And in Ryu Hazuki's room, he's the main character of the series, he has a Tails action figure in the background. So I thought that was pretty funny with Sega throwing their product placement around. But overall, a pretty good episode. One minor nitpick I have with the English dub, because I'm watching the English dub, if I have the option to watch it subbed or dubbed, I'm going to always go for the dub, just because, one, it's just easier for me to focus on, what's going on with the show and then listen, as opposed to, like, focus what's going on and then read the subtitles as well. And I really have a soft spot for the English dub, over-the-top voice acting. I prefer it. There's a lot of over-the-top voice acting here, but I noticed there's like some, I don't know if it's mispronunciation or what's going on there, but certain characters say different names differently. Like, for instance, the main villain is named Lan Di, right? And pretty much every character calls him Lan Di. But there's another character who we meet later in this episode who calls him Lan, and it's spelled L-A-N. So I guess, you would think it's Lan Di, but the way it's pronounced is Londi. So the dubbing company's got to get this in order, and we got to, fucking Crunchyroll. We can't blame Funimation in this instance. We got to blame Crunchyroll. And another instance, too, there's like a mafia group called the Chen Gang, and it's spelled C-H-E-N, Chen, right? But there's another character who calls it the Chin Gang, so how'd they fuck that up? Like, phonetically pronounce it in the script, so everyone pronounces it correctly, but anyway, overall, I enjoyed it. Some good action and interesting plot developments. The episode starts with this character. I gotta get the name right here. Let me just refer to my tab. Shenmue, S-H-E-N-H-U-A. Shenmue, who is this woman who appears to be narrating the series, and she's over there in China. I should mention that too. In my episode 1 review, I mentioned the series takes place in China, which I think it eventually does, but right now, Ryu is in Japan, and he's going up against, like, the Chinese crime lord, so eventually he'll go to China. I said it took place in China, but not quite yet. They're still in Japan here. But, so yeah, Shenmue is in her village talking to her grandmother, and, sort of laying the groundwork to what's going to happen later in the series, and she's sort of narrating what's going on as well. And then it cuts over to Ryu, and he's having a nightmare with what happened in the first episode. Of course, his father died at the hand of Lan Di. And, like, the very next day, Ryu received a letter, again, let me refer to the name here, from a man named Yuanda Zhu, which is, the letter's written in Chinese, and of course we're in Japan here, so it's a little bit different to, figure out what the hell it says. So there's a bit of a montage with Ryu going around trying to find people who speak and read Chinese, and the people who do read and speak Chinese are like, I don't know what this shit says, so it must be written in a different dialect or whatever, so they have that going on. Ryu also has, the chick who's following him around. Again, I'm sorry with the names, man, but I've never played. Nozumi. So there's a couple scenes of her following him around, and a cute moment where she's like, "Oh, we should all apply to the same university so we can go to the same school." And then she blushes, and Ryu's like, "Oh, a university?" Like he that's the furthest from his mind. He needs to get revenge for his father. So eventually, this leads to him running into this man named Charlie. And Charlie thinks that he's part of the Chen Gang, this other, like, mafioso group, and he's like, no, I gotta decipher this letter. So there's some cool action scenes of him doing martial arts, and he's going up against, 5 or 6 guys at once, and he's like, they're all these big muscular guys, but Ryu is all agile, has his martial arts technique, so he can dodge and give him a punch here and there in the right spot and knock him out, and some cool stuff there. And also Ryu meets one of his father's old friends, this old man, who's like sitting at the bench, and he's sort of like following Ryu throughout the whole episode, like, oh boy, you shouldn't be trying to investigate what happens. You're going to run into the wrong people with the mafia and Lon D, and, you don't want to deal with that. You see what he did to your father. So that's going on. But eventually, he figures out that Ryu is very persistent about this, and we'll see it to the end, so it does end up helping him. And also, at the end of the last episode, there was this other character. His name is Chai, and he's almost like a golem-looking thing. I think he's in league with Lon D, because he's looking for this mirror, right? And Lon D got this one mirror from Ryu's father after he killed him. But apparently there's another mirror. So this golem-looking fucker who's missing a bunch of teeth and whatnot, and is bald too. He kind of has like a golem voice. That's why I say that. He's after Ryu, and sort of following around and stalking him as well, but doesn't fight him here. But the episode ends with the old man. Again, let me get his name right. I'm sorry with the names. Shigeo. I think that's right. Shigeo. Shigeo starts teaching Ryu some martial arts, and you can see he's doing like this pose at the end, and like that. I don't want to take the camera out, but it's almost like a ki blast comes out at the end, and we saw with Lon D in his fight in the first episode that he was using like ki technique. So it appears there's gonna be like martial arts, ki blasts and things of that nature and powers. So that's cool. Definitely enjoyed this episode. Again, my one minor nitpick is the fact that like they're mispronouncing things. Like the one guy's calling Londi Landy. It's like, no, it's Londi. Like, what the fuck? It's not just a guy mispronouncing it. It's like a different accent or something from a different type of character. It's just the dubbing company fucking up there, in my opinion. But overall, I definitely enjoyed it. To people who played the games, how does this compare? Someone left me a comment in the first episode that it's faster paced, and it's that way, I believe, because it's only 13 episodes, to cover the first game. So, how does it compare? Just me looking at it as an outsider and looking at how the characters look in the games, they look, almost word for word copies from the anime to the game, from the games to the anime. Like Ryu, after his fight and his encounter with Lon D, has a bruise here on his face and has a band-aid covering it, which is you see in the games and in the anime. He's got like the slicked back hairdo with the leather jacket on, some cool stuff there. And the fact that it's produced by Sega with the product placement, you see in Ryu's room, he has a Tails statue, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, the opening and ending themes are both very good. Again, the fact that this is on Adult Swim, I mean, if this was back in the day, like I said, the Adult Swim lineup's pretty stacked, man. I'd be staying up late watching it. But now, like, do people even watch that shit? Like, I don't even have cable or anything, so I don't know like how the ratings are with that. But and how bingeable anime is, how you can just watch it online or buy Blu-rays or whatever. But overall, I'm enjoying it. I'm going to keep reviewing it and watching it. Like I said, this video is going up Saturday morning, so, watch the first 2 episodes, then watch episode 3 later tonight, and stay tuned for my review of episode 3 sometime next week. And also, I'll be doing a live stream tonight playing more Kingdom Hearts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so do be sure to stop by for that. So thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.